Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this video where I'm going to be showing you the top 10 kits within FIFA 18. Now, we're not actually going to use any from the catalogue, so the artist pack ones, etc. that you can get, and I'm showing you how to get now. While they are cool and there's some really cool kits from that, I'm not going to include them just because they're quite easy to get your hands on and they're not really hidden or anything, so I didn't think it was very creative to use those. What I am going to show you and what I am going to kick off with is from a team called Tigres. Now, not Tigers, as you can see here, they play in the Colombian league. I've got their home kit and their away kit, and my god are they really cool. Obviously, you know, a cool colour scheme, but also obviously that tiger imprint just looks really cool. So let's have a look at it on. So here we see Javier Hernandez modelling the home kit, and as you can tell, it looks really damn cool. I mean, that tiger is scary, and that is going to strike some fear into your opponent. And what I love about it, apart from that tiger imprint, is the colour scheme. It's very vibrant, really stands out, and there's also a little hidden gem in there that I think is quite cool and unusual, and that is the squad number being on the bottom right hand side of the player's shirt. Now that's really cool, and you don't really see that very often on the front. I think that's a nice little touch. It does look good in pink, you know, and it's always cool. Pink kits are always cool because they're a bit different and unusual, but I don't feel like you can see the tiger print quite as well. So definitely, if you are looking at them, I would go for the home kit because I think that is a really special kit, and currently not too expensive if you pick it up now. So next up, a little bit of a twist. It's not actually counting as another entry within this top 10, but there is another Tigres team out there from Mexico, and they also have a sort of tiger imprint kit. So I'm just going to show you that just as another option. I don't think it's quite as cool as a Colombian Tigres, but this one is also quite cool, and it's another option for you to go out and get. So here we see the Tigres kit from the Mexican team, and personally I think it still looks cool, but it's not quite as intimidating as the other Tigres kit. It looks really good in the avatar, but on, I don't think it looks quite as good, so I would definitely go with the first set of Tigres kit, but it's still a pretty cool option to have. Okay guys, so we move on now, and we have another home and away kit from a really interesting team called Osmanlispor, I think is how you pronounce it, from the Turkish league. And it is quite an expensive kit already. It's probably the most expensive kit within this lineup at the time I'm buying it. And I really like it, but it's definitely not my favourite. So I am surprised that it is so expensive, but I'll go ahead and put them on. Made by Nike, of course, so it is, you know, sort of a real sort of quality sort of outfit. And it is a very unusual kit, and it definitely looks better in the home sort of side of things, I think. So let's have a look at it on. Okay, so here we see Seamus Coleman modelling it, and as you can see, it looks really cool. I mean, the black and gold, and it's definitely a metallic sort of gold to it that's got a real shine, which looks really cool, if I'm being honest. The home kit I absolutely love, and I think it's well worth going out, and that is the more expensive one out of the two. As if you flip to the away one, it looks cool, and sometimes it'll definitely be nice to have both, definitely as an option, so you can keep it consistent. But let's be honest, I mean, the home one, as we can see, looks way better. But it's still a cool couple of kits that are very unusual, especially to have that sort of design. I love the fact there's no sponsorship all over the place. The badge is really high up on the one side as well, which is quite unusual. So it's almost just like a night kit with a bit of a design in. You wouldn't really even be able to tell what sort of team that was for the most part when it's on the pitch. But overall, definitely a very cool and very elegant and shiny and striking kit for me. So now moving on, and we see a more familiar team for us, which is Hamburg and their away kit, which I think is really, really good looking. It's got a very interesting design, and I'll go ahead and make this active on our away kit, and we'll go and check out and see what it looks like on. So here we see the Hamburg kit on Renato Sanchez, and I think you'll agree it looks really, really good. I love the design on it with the diamond sort of blurred a little bit. It just looks really, really good. I do tend to stay away from the more famous teams, and Hamburg obviously is a very familiar team to most of us, but I still think it's worth including just because it's a very unusual design. Blue always looks good on, and the imprint on the top just looks really, really good to me, and I really like this one. So next up, we have a very famous kit that I'm sure you've come across. Maybe you've used it before, or you've definitely probably played someone who's used this kit, and that is from a team called U.N.A.M. from the Mexican League, and it has that bear embossed on the front, and it looks really cool. So I've gone ahead and made both of these active. So let's go have a quick look at seeing what they look on. So here we see Javier Hernandez modelling the home kit, and I think it looks really cool. I love the colour scheme, always works really well. You probably won't clash with too many people as well, because people tend to go for reds and blues, etc. This kit looks cool. It's got an interesting sort of layout. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have a badge. The badge is the big bear emblem. You've got the DHL logo much higher up than you'd normally find a sponsor, and the Nike a little bit higher up as well. But overall, it just looks really cool, both home and away. I'd prefer the home, if I'm being honest. I think it fits in more, especially as the fact that the socks and that don't really suit the away kit for me. But as a home kit, I think it's really, really nice, and definitely continues to be a top choice for FIFA 18 kits. So next up, guys, we have another home and away kit from a team that I used all last year. You may remember, for anyone who's watched my channel for a while now, you may remember that I used this team called Sangmu from the Korean League. And again, their kit is actually really similar to what they had last year. And it's just a really cool kit. I mean, everyone loves a good camo kit. The fact that it comes in such interesting colours definitely is appealing. So let's have a quick look at what they look like on. So here we see Sacco wearing the home kit, and it looks really cool. The one thing I am a little bit disappointed with this year around is that the camo doesn't show through as much as it does on the avatar. Last year you could really see that this red kit was a camo kit. This time around, especially playing from distance, you know, with the sort of camera angles that we'll have, it really just looks like a home kit at times. But definitely a cool option, and the away one is a bit more obvious. This one really shines through. The white and the grey combines to show a very obvious camo kit, and just the two of them, they're quite cheap, they look really cool on, and I do really like these Sangmu kits. So next up in our top kits lineup, we have a kit from Ahli from the Saudi Arabian League, and as you can see, it's got a pretty cool, interesting look to it. You know, it's got that green, almost Irish look to it, which I think around St. Patrick's Day would look really cool on, although I'm sure EA will release a St. Patrick's Day kit. But in the meantime, this is a really nice option, so I'll just go ahead and make it active, and we'll have a look at what it looks like on. So we see it modelled by U.N.A.M, and it is a really interesting kit. You know, it definitely looks a little bit better on the avatar and on the club card, if I'm being honest. But it's still a really cool, interesting, different looking kit. You know, green always makes it look interesting. You know, there's definitely a lack of green kits out there, so it's already unique in itself. And then those little almost crowd emblems dotted around with that sort of design, I just think is a very interesting look. It's definitely something that no one else is going to have, and it will look really, really good on. Now we have a kit from a team called Wanderers who play in Chile, and instantly you'll see a very striking design that's got a bit of abstract tessellating sort of triangles to it mixed with black and green. I just think it looks really cool, so we're going to go ahead and put this one on, and we'll go ahead and see what it looks like on. So as you can see, the Wanderers kit definitely is a very striking and different option. It does have maybe a little bit too many sponsorships for me. It does sort of ruin the overall look, but it's still really cool. This is definitely a funky kit that is going to catch people's attention and definitely be like, whoa, what the hell? What team is this? You know, it's very interesting, very unique, and I love that about this option. Now we move on to an away kit from Plymouth Argyle, which I think you'll agree, again, is very, very striking. I'll go ahead and make this active, and we'll go ahead and check out what it looks like on. So now we see the away kit from Plymouth Argyle on, and you can definitely agree that it looks interesting. It almost looks like something Peter Schmeichel would have wore in the 90s. It has that goalkeeper element to it, and there's even a bit of a hypnotic sort of look to it, which I quite like because it almost drowns out the sponsorship and the badge, which I think is really cool. So definitely a good option for you if you do want a nice green kit that almost looks like a team of goalkeepers. So now we move on to a team called CD Numancia from Spain, and we'll go ahead and make these two kits active because I do have both the home and the away. Very similar design for both, just with different colours. We'll put both of those there, okay. So let's go have a look and see what they look like on. So once on, you'll see a very weird but intriguing design. There's almost like a, I don't even know what it is, to be honest. It's some sort of emblem. It looks like maybe someone holding something. Potentially, I have no idea what it is, so let me know if you actually know what that is supposed to be, your mind can make up a whole load of things. It almost looks like some guy holding a really big ball to me, and he's really struggling and having to lean back. But I could be making that up. I have no idea what it actually is. But it just struck me as very weird and interesting, so I had to include it in this lineup because it's definitely different. There is a bit of a difference between the two kits. Obviously that icon is in the same place for both. It's definitely more present on the away kit, and there's that nice diagonal line going across which fades near the top, which is quite cool. Nice colour schemes on both. Definitely an interesting choice that I'm sure some will find appealing. So our final choice, and again we go back for an interesting camo kit, and we've got the home and away kits from a team called Shimizu S Pulse. It's very much like this Sangju Sangmu sort of kits, but these ones seem a bit more pronounced and a little bit more obvious. So I'm going to go ahead and make both active so we can have a look and see what they look like on. So just go ahead and do the away kit as well, and we'll go have a look and see what they look like on. So as you can see, they're definitely a more obvious camo style kit, but what's interesting when you look up close and personal, and definitely in this view you can really see it, there's almost like a globe pattern. You can see those lines going across both horizontally and vertically that sort of shape in a globe-like style. There's definitely a really cool look to it. I don't know quite why that's on there, but overall I think it's a really interesting colour scheme. The camo element to it, and with that sort of globe pattern, makes it a really good kit. The away kit is very similar. It doesn't have the globe stripes across it like the home one does, but it's a really nice white camo kit that looks very good. It has again an interesting element to it with the squad number on in a very unusual place for teams that usually have it on would have it bang in the middle around where the sponsor is, but this one is just under and to the player's left, which is, you know, interesting. It makes it a bit more different and quirky. So that is it for my top 10 kits for FIFA 18. I hope you've enjoyed looking at some of the more interesting options out there, and hopefully you'll have found a kit that you like and that you'll end up using and will definitely be striking when it's on. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and peace.